Hey guys, my name is Anant Tyagi and I'm an advocate in Delhi High Court. And in today's video, I would like to talk about the changes that have been brought in the Consumer Protection Act 2019 when we compare it to the Consumer Protection Act 1986. Before the 1986 Act, we had no special legislature and all the consumer related cases were being filed in the civil courts in the country. As we all know, the civil courts are already burdened by crores and crores of cases, and if we added the consumer cases on top of that, it would have only led to burdening of the courts. So a special legislation was enacted and special courts were made that we know as consumer forums. So after the 1986 Act came into being, we made amendments from time to time as per our need, but then the government in today's time felt that there was a need for a major overhaul because of the drastic changes that were happening in the market in India. The emergence of e-commerce platform is one of the most important reasons why the 2019 Act was enacted. Now, as you can see on the screen, the first point states e-commerce. So the definition of consumers was broadened and people who were making purchase of goods from the e-commerce platform were now included in the definition of consumers. Someone may ask that the e-commerce platform were functioning from so many years. Were the consumers heard in the court? Yes, they were heard and they were eligible to be considered as consumers, but because of the natural justice principle that the judges were invoking, now what they have done is that they have officially mentioned in the definition, so there is no point of any disagreement. Secondly, they have made a separate provisions for the endorsement of goods and services. Now the celebrities who are endorsing the products will be personally liable if there is any defect in the goods or services. Like in the case of Maggie, we heard that Maggie had lead particles in it. So what did the court do? They ordered the destruction of all the batch of Maggie for that particular month. But was Mr. Amitabh Bachchan and Madhuri Dixit, who were the endorsers of the product on television ads, responsible for the same? No, they were not, because there was no such provisions in the Consumer Protection Act. Now, if the same case comes before the court, then they will be personally liable for the same, along with the manufacturers of the goods. So the onus will be on the celebrities now who are endorsing that any liability, if comes, they will be held liable for it. Now the third thing that they have done is they have permitted the filing of the cases through the online forum, that is e-filing platform. Anybody who is sitting at home can file their case from their home itself. But sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but many districts in our country do not have computers in the court, and for that very reason, yet we cannot say that all the courts are functioning with e-filing facility, but hope for the best. Now, one of the major changes is that they have included the definition of food and taken it from the Food and Standards Act 2006 and copied and pasted in the Consumer Protection Act 2019. What it does is that it brings all the food delivery platforms like Swiggy, like Food Panda, like Zomato under the ambit of the Consumer Protection Act. Now, third, this is very important, that now they have increased the pecuniary jurisdiction. A court can admit cases up to a certain limit, and if the valuation of the suit reaches this point that you can see on the screen, then they can be admitted in the court. So the district forum, which by the way I have to change it, will now be called as District Commission, State Commission and National Commission. So earlier it was up to 20 lakh rupees. If the valuation of the suit was under 20 lakhs, it would go to the district forum, but now it is up to 1 crore. In the State Commission, earlier it was between 20 lakh and 1 crore, but now if the valuation of suit comes under 1 crore and 10 crore, then they will be filed directly in the State Commission. And thirdly, in the National Commission, earlier it was above 1 crore of rupees, but now any case above the valuation of 10 crore will be filed in the National Commission. The basic reason is that the courts at the National Commission were burdened with thousands and thousands of cases, and because of that the delivery of justice was getting affected. So what they did was they increased the power of the District Commission and the State Commission. So now the National Commission can focus on the important cases. So that is why the pecuniary jurisdiction was amended and changed, and more power was given to the District Commission and the State Commission. One thing to remember is that the District Forum should now be called as District Commission. Then there was a change in the structural reform also. So the important thing to know is that now the District Forum will have one president and at least 2 members. The State Commission will have one president, at least 4 members, and the National Commission will have one president and at least 4 members. So that is the structure of the courts. Then they also changed the time allowed for appeal. So if you have to appeal an order of the District Commission and you have to appeal it in State Commission, then you have to do it within 45 days. Earlier it was 30 days. If you have to go into appeal of State Commission's order and you have to appeal it in the National Commission, then you have to do it within 30 days. And if you have to appeal the order of the National Commission and go into the Supreme Court, then you have to do it within 30 days. That is the period of limitation: 45 days, 30 days and 30 days. Then one of the major amendment that has taken place is the introduction of the Central Consumer Protection Council. The name is very long, and so I will speak it in abbreviation of CCPA. So according to the 2019 Act, they established this authority with the sole purpose of investigating with the help of Directorate General in conducting all the inquiries and investigations regarding consumer rights. Any consumer rights, if were violated, would come under the ambit of the authority and they would be held liable to correct it. So if there was any misleading advertisement, if there was any unfair trade practices that were taking place in the country, then they could take either suo motu cognizance, that is on their own, or anybody could write a letter to them asking them to take action against a particular manufacturer. Then they would inquire and do the needful. Thirdly, if the government asked them to. So CCPA was established not just with the aim of investigation but also to take action against any unfair trade practice, any misleading advertisement, etc. Any law, if establishes an authority, should give them the power, because without power, without the teeth, and no authority will be able to do anything for the country. So they gave certain powers to the Central Consumer Protection Authority. What were the powers? First is inquiry into violation of consumer right. So they have the power to inquire, they have the power to investigate any violation of the consumer rights. So like I said, either suo motu, either on receiving any complaint from any person of the society, and thirdly from the orders of the government. Now second power is the power to order recalling of the product. Earlier it was available only in cases of food items, but now any item, if found dangerous or it is found defective, will be asked to be recalled back into production and then corrected. Without the powers, no authority will be useful for the society. So it was very imperative to give them powers. Seventh is product liability. So they have included chapter 6 in CPA 2019, and the concept of product liability has been defined as follows. Now what happens is that even if the product is good but there is defect in the design, even then the manufacturer will be liable. So they have increased the product liability uh, of the manufacturers, and now they are very strict about it. Then another term that has been defined is unfair trade practices. Any unfair trade practice, if found to be happening in the society, will be dealt very strictly under this law. So what usually happens is that because of the emergence of the digital platform in the country, all of our transactions are taking place through our uh, online apps like Paytm. We are paying money through Paytm, we are purchasing things, we are getting our phones recharged, etc. So all of our private data is on those apps. So for example, if you go to a hospital to get a patient treated and they take your information and fill it in their databases, and later you find that your data has been sold to any third party without your information, then it is a case of unfair trade practice, and any party that is found to be involved in this particular action of selling the data of second party to any third party will come under the ambit of unfair trade practices. Then the introduction of standard form contracts. What the new law of Consumer Protection Act 2019 have done is that they have included standard form contracts. So what usually happens is that standard form contracts are contracts which are printed in multiple numbers for big corporations when they come into contact with small individuals like us. Now, if I have to use a particular software in my laptop and I install the particular software, they will ask for terms and conditions. Now I as a consumer have no right, I am not negotiating with the big company. The big company has given me a standard contract that is applicable to all the individuals who will come into contact with the big firm. So if I was not a part of the negotiation of this contract, then it will be considered as a biased contract, because the big firms will always include certain provisions that benefit them and do not benefit me as a consumer. So if I accept it and I accept the contract, I as a consumer will be liable for following all the details of the contract, all the provisions of the contract. So what they did was that these big firms have these standard form contracts, and the individual who is coming into contact has no right to negotiate the deal. So it may happen that they make certain provisions that go against the nature of the consumer rights, as has been mentioned under the Consumer Protection Act 2019. So if even I accept the contract as an individual and later I find that the company is exploiting any provision that goes against the principle of the consumer rights, as has been mentioned in CPA 2019, then the court has the power to remove that particular provision that is violating the consumer rights and declare it null and void. And I as a consumer will not be liable if I do not follow that particular provision after the court has considered it null and void. So that is why standard form contract was introduced in the 2019 Act, to protect the individuals from the big firms. So if we have to conclude the session, we can say that the new act has placed strict liability on the manufacturers, sellers, and even the endorsers of the product, which was earlier not the case. And the introduction of CCPA as an authority is a welcome step, because any act of violation of the consumer rights in the country, like unfair trade practice, can now be investigated by them and stopped. Not just by investigation, but by also uh, applying the penal provisions that they have on the violators of the law. So I may have missed certain small changes in the act, but the major ones have been covered, and it is for all the advocates and the law students to read the new act and get themselves familiar, because the Consumer Protection Act is one of the basic laws that every advocate and every law student should know. And a special tip, because of introduction of various new provisions, the numbering of the sections of the 1986 Act and 2019 Act have changed. So what happened is that I received a complaint, consumer complaint, and a very reputable firm in New Delhi had written the new act, Consumer Protection Act 2019, but they thought that the sections would be the same as the 1986 Act and they wrote wrong sections. So one must be aware of the changes, and before writing one should check the bare act. So thank you, and that's all for the Consumer Protection Act 2019.